Hello everyone, Mark here. Welcome back to my garage. Well, it's a hot day, hence the fan running over there. But I said that the next video would be cutting on the mill. Well, it's finally time to do that. I've got a bench made for it now. I actually bought one, cheated. Who cares? Put it up on the mill, on the bench rather. Put the mill on the bench, and now, yeah. See if we can do some cuts with it, shall we? Well, here we go, guys. As you can see, I bought a vise for it. It's just a eBay special, this thing. It arrived in one piece, I'm surprised. And clamped fairly well down to the mill. As it turns out, I was able to fiddle the T-nut down there. Just filed it a bit, and I got them both to fit, so this vise is rock solid. Positive about this vise though is it came with locating pins on the bottom, so it does fit nicely and squarely into the T slots. So I was able to put it in, pull it back nice and hard against the edge, which is machined obviously, and therefore it was nice and square. But this particular cut anyway doesn't really matter if it's square. Bought a 3-inch slab mill here. I'm going to take 3mm off the top of this. Now this, I don't know if any of you will recognise it, is the compound slide off a Myford ML10, and it just happens to be the one off my Myford ML10 over there. I'm planning on putting a Multifix type tool post on it, and according to the guy over at Pee-wee Tools, thanks very much to Adam for pointing me, of A-Bomb, over there, to pointing me towards this particular manufacturer and brand of tool post. As it turns out though, this was never meant to have a quick change tool post fitted, so it's too tall, too thick for it to work. So my plan is, after speaking to the guy over at Pee-wee, he says if you take 3mm off the top of this, it'll make it nice to be able to put up to a 10mm tool in the quick change and still be able to get it to centre height. But I've decided instead I'll probably still take the 3mm but then go for 8mm tooling, so I've got a bit more room to play with, as it were. Right, I've already zeroed out the knee and locked it off. In theory, if I go across here now, it shouldn't take a cut. We're going to find out. Let's see how it goes, shall we? Right guys, I've got it set up on the tripod. Hopefully you can see everything properly there. Right. Let's give this thing a whirl, shall we? Let's see what happens. I've got it on its slowest speed, the mill, at the moment. I've locked the knee off. I'll try taking a skim across now and see what happens. Hopefully everything works. Fingers crossed. Well guys, seems to have taken the cut alright. Let me bring you in for a closer angle. Well, it's definitely taken a cut. Cut seems to be holding up alright. It's definitely made a nice cut across the top. This here is where I made a mistake on the little mini mill, thought it could handle it. Yeah, it definitely couldn't, so it dug in and buggered up this front face. But the rest of it, it's got a lovely surface finish across there. Cutter seems to be holding up just fine as well. Very nice indeed. Right, let me get an indicator set up and I can raise it up exactly 1 mil and we'll take another cut. Right guys, hopefully you can see that. It is 1 past the thing, so now I've loosened the knee. I'm going to raise it up exactly 1 mil. Here we go. Oh, that's the wrong way, genius. Right, that's now back where it was before I slung the carriage back. So now I've got to go right back round again. Get in there, nearly there, almost. Close enough. There we go. Now I can lock the knee, which raised it up for some reason. Tell you what, let's undo that. Lower it back down. And there we go. Let's lock that off now. Right, get the indicator out of the way. Let's take a millimetre cut. This machine should handle it. Let's give it a go. Right guys, let's give this a whirl, shall we? Well guys, I don't know what to think. It's got an obvious chatter pattern. Let me grab the brush. It's obviously got some chatter. Looks like it's hard. The casting is quite hard in the middle for some reason. It's like the casting is harder in the middle than it is on the edges. That's frustrating. I don't think there's any problem with my cutter. Doesn't look like it. It's peculiar. I think I won't take as much of a cut next time. I think I'll only go 1/2 mil next time. Oh, it was that as well. Fair enough. Well, it cut again. At least now it's leaving that pattern across the whole surface rather than just in a little spot. Obviously it's a bit harder further down the casting. I think what I'm going to have to do, so I've already taken off 1.5 mil, so I've got another 1.5 to go. So I'll bring you back for the last cut. Right guys, on the final cut now, so hopefully you can make out what that dial says. The light's a bit shit, I'm still waiting to put some new lights up in here. Anyway, I decided in the finish I would have to go for a 0.25 of a mil cut each time, because as it turns out this mil wasn't as much of a bargain as I thought, because it's got a knackered fucking lead screw. So I need to make a new nut for it. Yay! Anyway, that's next time, future me's problem. So I'm going to take the final quarter now. So I've already loosened the knee. So it's already 5 past, so I need to go 5 past again. Here we go. That should do it, and then when you tighten the knee on this thing, it also raises it for some bizarre reason. That should be close enough now for what I need. Close enough that the blind man will be pleased to see it. Anyway, let's see what happens, shall we? Right, let me get this out of the way and bring you back once I start it up. Right, let's give this thing a whirl, guys. Final cut, shall we? And hearing protection, because of the knackered screw, it's chattering quite badly on it as it's stuttering all the way through because it's got play in it. Yay! Right, less chit chat, more get the fuck on with it. Spring cut on this one now. Just see if I can clean it up a bit. Well, that seemed to cut alright, that, guys. Not too bad now. Right, let's get this out of... Slow it down a little bit so I can whiz it back across without destroying the surface. Loosen off the gear block on this axis. Slide it back across. There we go. Move it to there. Right. And let's get this puppy out of here. There we go. Considering the amount of chatter I was getting, guys, that's not too bad a surface finish. I've certainly seen worse. I mean, you can feel that there, but it's still pretty damn smooth. I would say fairly level as well. I suppose that's the beauty of using a slab cutter, is that it cuts the whole width at once. It's quite handy, that. Right, let me clean off the machine, and I'll move my lights back around, and I'll give you a final close-up and closing thoughts once it's back on the bench. Right, finished cleaning it off, oiled it all up as well now. Took the arbor out as well. Thought rather than risking it bending under the weight of a cutter or something, I can then store it vertically so it doesn't risk bending or twisting, or also it will prevent it from wearing out the bushings in the mill as well. I think they've handled it fairly well, considering, as it turns out, it's knackered. It's not bad. I'm quite pleased. Anyway, I'll go put this down and I'll show you the part and close up. Right guys, just gonna break the edges just with a little needle file, just to get rid of the sharp edges left over from the mill. One problem with when you've got a nice cutter like that. And now I know you guys can all see this ridge pattern in it, and yes, you can feel it, but it's not bad enough for me to worry about. Well guys, that's it for another night. As you can see, it's night time now. Hopefully the next video will be me making a start on a new project for a friend of mine. Hopefully I can get some video of that for you chaps and gals. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Stay safe everyone, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheerio.